Hi everyone, my name's Chris Douglas. I'm the Director of Member Services at Accor Plus. I'm here today to talk to you about building a dynamic knowledge base. But first of all, I want to thank the organisers for putting on such a great event. Over the last couple of days, I know I've gotten a lot of insights, and I hope you get some insights from my presentation as well. So a bit about me. I'm the Director of Member Services at Accor Plus. In my role, I'm in charge of building a CX strategy, and that journey has been going on for the last couple of years. I'm really excited to talk to you about our dynamic knowledge base for both our customers or members and our staff. It's been a really big success as part of our customer experience strategy. But before we kick off, I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about Accor Plus. So Accor Plus is Asia Pacific's largest paid lifestyle loyalty program. We've got upwards of 400,000 members, paying members across the Asia Pacific region. And of course, we're part of the Accor network, which is a global hotel chain, which has a lot of fabulous hotels around the world, none of which we can visit at the moment, except in Australia. And we also have 180,000 of those members based in the Pacific region. We've got members that are varied from different groups and have different experiences. So it's really a tricky thing to make sure we're delivering the best customer experience possible and tailor that experience to those different members and to the status of their membership, whether they're silver, gold, platinum, diamond, or limitless. So as you can imagine, the year of 2020 was quite a disruption to Accor Plus and to Accor globally. The travel industry was obviously very heavily hit and it's quite a challenge. But our membership, we did a lot of things to really drive member engagement. And one of the things we did was give all of our members a 6-month extension to their membership, which was a real customer-led decision, which has helped basically retain the majority of our base, which has been fantastic. Obviously, there's still a few challenges in the roads ahead, as I'm sure there are in lots of other industries. But our product continues to be successful, which is fantastic. For those of you that don't know what the product is, it's a paid loyalty program that you pay to join on a yearly basis. It's like a subscription model, I guess. And it includes a number of great benefits for our members, including complimentary nights, dining benefits, hotel benefits, big discounts, things like that, as well as exclusive money can't buy experiences. Obviously, during the pandemic, no one could travel overseas, and there was a lot of challenges, obviously, traveling domestically with the lockdowns and things like that. So I thought I'd tell you a bit about Accor Plus and who we are, and I'd also thought I'd give you a bit of context around our CX strategy and our CX journey. We've been on this CX journey for a couple of years now. In the last 12 to 18 months, it's really ramped up. And I guess one of the things that we really started to realise as a company, and I definitely, realised, is that your customers that you have for any industry, and in particular for Accor Plus, they're going to compare you to the best CX experiences they've ever had. Okay? They're not just comparing you to your competitors. So in our instance, they're not just comparing us to the Marriott. They're not just comparing us to the Hilton. They're comparing us to the leaders in CX around the world. Everyone's had great experiences, from CX world leaders, Uber, Airbnb, lots of different companies, Apple. And unless you're willing and able to step up to that challenge, then you're going to be left behind. So in January of 2020, what we did is we implemented a Omni-Channel customer experience platform, and we partnered with Zendesk, who I'll talk a lot about today because that's who we use as our CX provider, I guess you could say. And Omni-Channel was really important to us. Traditionally, we just had the traditional channels of voice and email, both of which are resource heavy, both of which we weren't handling particularly well, and we had extended wait times. What we wanted to do is really diversify the channels to let our members or our customers interact with us where they wanted to and not force them down narrow, unproductive or inefficient channels. So as part of that journey in the last, say, 18 months, and it kicked off in January of 2020, live chat, social media, introduced an answer bot, and self-service, which I'll talk a lot about today, key pillars to easier for the business. But we redesigned it, looking at the other way, putting the customer or the member first, as we like to say, as part of that strategy. So the customer was at the centre of everything we did and designing all those processes. Really exciting. So let's talk about the member help centre, which is what we call our knowledge base. This was introduced in January, and this is a really great resource for our members. The purpose, I guess, the reason we put this together is we really wanted to give our members the opportunity to self-serve so that they wouldn't have to wait for a call centre to open up. Or for those people like myself who work all day, you know, if you need to get a quick answer to something, the last thing I feel like doing after working a long day is jumping on a phone, listening to an IVR and waiting to speak to an agent. You know what I mean? So people really want to, and the trends were there in you know, investigations and I guess research we'd done, that there was a desire for people to be able to self-service, even if it's just simple little queries. And being able to self-service obviously brings us as an organisation a lot of benefits. This whole process about self-service was not necessarily about just reducing volumes coming into our call centres, but it was to enable us to, I guess, deflect these high volume, low touch, easy queries that members could really do for themselves, so that our resources, our highly skilled workforce that we've invested a lot in, particularly in Omni-Channel, training and cross-skilling and developing these people so they can focus on having real quality conversations. And that was the real reason behind our Member Help Centre, and also to obviously assist us with workload and you know, time it takes for us to respond. So in the first year when we launched it, we've had over 84,000 article views, so a lot of viewed articles. It was really important to us when we're putting together that we really had to make sure we had the right content. So we did a lot of work behind the scenes, analysing our data, looking at common queries, why are people contacting us, and how can we possibly offer self-service for those particular ones. So the content was really important. I also wanted to make sure that our help centre was dynamic, that it was visually appealing, that it was easy to use, and not just an FAQs page that you'd have to rifle through. So Zendesk, as part of the platform that we're using, has a product called Guide, and their professional services team helped us set this up. And essentially, it looks skinned to look exactly like our website, which is great. And it's got a very familiar interface to most people out there who've ever used the internet, which is that Google style of interface with the search bar in the middle. So we have the desktop, really important, obviously. And it enables our members to be able to search for information. What's great about the help base is the help centre is that it's a smart help centre as well. So it will tell us when we need to update articles. It will tell us articles that we need to create based on not only the searches that go through the help centre, but also the tickets that our members are sending and interacting with us as well. So that's fantastic. So we've got the desktop version, and there's also the mobile version, which is so pivotally important in this day and age. As everyone out there, I'm sure knows, everyone's on their phones all of the time, particularly on public transport or wherever they go, basically. So it was important for us to be able to let our members contact us or find information through that. We started off with about 90 articles, and we slowly built that up over time. And we've got over 100 articles now. What's been really interesting is if you look at the growth of the articles in that graph. So from 4,000 odd articles viewed in January when we introduced it, a bit of a drop off towards the middle of the year, and that was obviously COVID. Not as many people were looking to get questions answered about travel during that period, funnily enough. And so the views slowly dropped. However, they slowly started to build again when things started to really open up, and it looked a lot more positive, at least in Australia and in our region. The growth in the knowledge base as well is centred in the fact that because this Omni-Channel was so successful, we expanded it from just the Pacific region to across the Asia Pacific region. Currently it's just in English, but we are looking at expanding that into other languages as well, including Mandarin and Vietnamese and Thai, to service those markets better as well. Currently, we're seeing a 10 to 15% growth month on month in articles viewed, which has been really great to see, and it's just going from strength to strength. And if we look at that, if you're looking at about 13,000 articles, it would usually, per query, it would take an agent about 8 minutes roughly. So you can see that that's a massive amount of time that's saved, and I guess contacts that are saved from having to go through our traditional call centres. So we estimate that we're saving, I guess, 6 to 8 FTEs just from the help centre alone. For those of you who are looking for an omni-channel or a CX platform, that's a really great way that you can demonstrate ROI, and that's been really evident for us to be able to really demonstrate that return on investment that we've made, which was quite substantial, with the clear facts and data behind it. So not only do we introduce a help centre, which is great, members can search for information for themselves, but we also introduced a self-service, I guess, app, which is the AnswerBot, an artificial intelligence that plugs into that help centre, once again with our partners, Zendesk. And it has a traditional bot that just says, hi, welcome to Call Plus, ask me a question and I'll find the answer for you. Very traditional, in a widget on the bottom right-hand corner of our website. The great thing about, obviously, AnswerBots is they're 24/7. And the AnswerBots that we're using works not just in the widget, but it works in 3 different ways. So the widget, the web form, and the email. So the widget, everyone knows about an AnswerBot, but it's also the web form. So if a member's on our website, they're entering a web form, it's dynamic. So it will actually prompt them with articles as they type, referring back to common queries. And once they submit that web form, it'll have a pop-up on the screen that will say, hi, it looks like you're looking for this article. Does this solve your query? And also email. So we do receive emails, like every organisation. And the AnswerBot, or the AI, works through emails as well. As soon as someone emails us, they'll get an automated email back, and the AI and AnswerBot will have scanned that email, will have looked for keywords to really try and see if there's anything in the help centre that can really assist with that query, see if it's a simple query. So they'll get an automatic article or email bounce back, which helps to deflect. When we first introduced the AnswerBot, what we noticed is that majority of query or resolutions from the AnswerBot were coming from email and web form. In the last, say, 2 to 3 months, that's completely flipped. So the behaviour of our members has changed. They're using the web widget, which has been really great. And we're seeing lots of great resolutions there as well. We've also, with this product, it has really supercharged our help centre through artificial intelligence and enabled to deflect those high volume, low touch tickets. So just through the AnswerBot alone, we've had 7,000 articles viewed just from the AnswerBot. Over 1,100 of those resolutions have been unassisted or untouched by an agent. And the great thing about AnswerBot, it's on 24/7. So any time of the day, doesn't matter where our members are, what time it is, they can get an answer, and they can get assistance with the AnswerBot. Obviously, an AnswerBot's not going to be able to solve all queries, and having our agents, our omni-channel, highly skilled agents is very important, because we still want to interact with our agents. And the stickiness of our members is by having a highly skilled workforce. So AnswerBot is just one of the ways, and the help centre, of deflecting some of those, I guess, common queries to enable us to have, I guess, more quality conversations. And you can see the resolutions as well as continually climbing month on month. So then let's talk about agent self-service. So the knowledge base for our staff. So as I mentioned, we're an Asia-Pacific-wide loyalty program. Service centres we've got across Asia-Pacific, and this created the risk of silos. Obviously, 2020, the year of disruption, as the conference is called, a lot of people are working remotely and obviously internationally. So it creates a great risk for having silos and inconsistent experiences. So what we then decided to do was go through a program of centralising our processes, reviewing our processes in each of the countries, making sure we had best practice sorted out. Making sure it was best for the members, that it was through the lens of customer experience, and making sure our processes were lean and were efficient, and to be able to, I guess, get rid of the fat of our processes, not do anything we didn't have to. And then what we wanted to do is store it somewhere so that agents have the ability to search for information at their fingertips. Really importantly now, because up to 60% of our workforce is currently working remotely, work from home, or in other countries. So having it in a searchable help center was really, really important for us. As part of our Zendesk platform that we're using, there's also an app called Knowledge Capture. And this has been really, really exciting to use. Knowledge Capture is an app that sits in the ticket. So when someone is responding to a customer query, the agent can access that knowledge base within the ticket. They don't have to go to another website. They don't have to go to the centralized help center because it all connects through this app. So that means that the real estate they've got on their screen, they can do it all on that one screen. Which is great, because the less having to jump between systems and screens, the better for our agents. And the agents can actually directly link articles right within that help center and respond to the members to the help center. And this can help drive changes in behavior from our agents and also our customers to drive towards self-service as well. And that's why we've also seen this uptick in self-service from both our agents and also our members and customers as well. Sorry. Lastly, I just wanted to talk to you about some great tips and techniques, or some tips essentially, that from insights that we've gathered from using Knowledge Base over the last 13, 14 months. So I've got 5 tips for you that I think are the most important things to remember if you are building a knowledge base or you are creating one or updating one. So the first one is that content really is king. Okay, so the knowledge that you put into it is only as useful as it is. So the knowledge base is only as useful as the knowledge it contains. So what you want to do, and what we did, is we analysed a lot of historical data, looked at what are the key drivers, what do we know are driving common queries that could be resolved through the use of a knowledge base, and we created articles to address these. So using historical data was really key, looking at it over a year and see what were those key issues. We also wanted to set up gates about who could contribute content for the help center, whether it's the agent base or the customer base, and review and publish. And for us, it was important to keep it as close to operations as possible, because they've got their ear close to the ground, essentially. Which brings me to tip number 2, which is we ask suggestions on articles all the time from our agents. The people that are on the phone, that are on live chat, on social, which is we ask suggestions on articles all the time from our agents. The people that are on the phone, that are on live chat, on social, on email, web forms, any customer channel, they're the ones that have direct contact with our customers. They're going to know quicker than anyone, including myself, what's going on and what's happening. So we wanted to make sure that we kept our ears close to the ground and encourage an environment where agents could really suggest suggestions on articles. Really, really important. Number 3 is update, update, update. So important, I'm repeating it 3 times. So you need to make sure that you review your content regularly. And so when I say regularly, it's almost weekly. The good thing about the platform we use for our knowledge base is it will automatically prompt us to verify articles after 30 days. And we'll set that up in a queue, as well as it will prompt us to create articles or update existing articles that may be out of date based on the information from our members. It's also important to set aside time to do this. You don't want to do one of these things that's always at the bottom of the list that you never quite get to. So what we've got is people, including myself even, who will on a weekly basis sit down, schedule time and go through and keep that content updated. And again, keep your ear close to the ground, listen for any common issues. What's really great is that you can promote articles. So if there's a major issue that goes wrong, create an article, put it out there, set up the tags so that if there's a service disruption or anything like that, for example, you can quickly populate an article that will deflect a lot of that volume from going into your call center and reducing the response times as well. So that's really important. Promote articles when things start to go wrong. And you also want to drive a change in customer behavior. So that brings us to tip number 4, which is promote self-service. So It's great to have a knowledge base, it's great to have it updated, it's great to have amazing content on there, but if people aren't using it, then what's the point? So really important to drive a change in the customer behavior. So how do we do that? We promote it everywhere. So on every call that an agent's on, or every live chat, or every email we respond to on Facebook, we always talk to the help centre and link articles directly to it. There's a recording on our IVR that says, for faster response, why don't you check out our help centre? And it's on every email as well. We've also run social media campaigns to really educate our members as well. And the last tip is that you really want to drive a change in your agent's behaviour as well. People are working remotely, and agents are only going to benefit from the knowledge base that you have if they're using it. So how did we do that? We built into the KPIs, which we could track through data to see what percentage of them were using the knowledge base on a regular basis, and we built that into their KPIs. And we constantly spoke to that in coaching and development and in training as well. All right, so those are the 5 tips for the knowledge base. Content is king. Ask for suggestions. Update, update, update. Promote self-service and change agent behaviour. And we've got a few minutes, I think. So now what we can do is we can, I'm ready to answer your questions. Thank you.